Okay, the last concept or the last investment strategy as a potential investor or franchisee in a franchise concept is going to be what we call a master franchise. Now, a master franchise can be very similar to what we described in the regional representative model and or what is sometimes referred to as a regional development model. Now, again, I'm talking about what I believe to be the most the real definition of a master franchise. What makes the difference between a master franchise and a regional representative is, in the regional representative model we discussed earlier, the franchisees that open up franchises in the regional representative's marketplace are still entering into a direct licensing relationship with the franchisor. The regional representative supports the franchisees on behalf of the franchisor, but they're not entering into the contractual commitment with the franchisees. The master franchisor is offering franchises for sale in a bigger geographic area, but they are also going to be the licensors. So they're going to be entering into a direct relationship as a licensor in that geographic area. Now, where the master franchise, I think, is the most common, or the one that was really designed for, was to do expansion from country to country, or an international expansion. An example might be a US-based company, franchise company, that already has good development going on in the United States, but say they want to open up in another country. Maybe they want to open up in a country such as Vietnam. And so they would, there would be this geography is not going to be great here. That may not look like Vietnam for you geography buffs, but the point is that this represents a country, not just a state necessarily, but a country. And so the franchisor with the master franchisee would typically be someone who lives in Vietnam, or a group of investors who live in Vietnam that already have industry experience, that already have contacts, that already have resources, may already have a management team. They're looking for new brands to bring into their market. So they would go to find American brands that want to expand internationally, and they would go in and negotiate a master franchise rights. The master franchise rights would be similar to the regional representative for a big geographic area, and so if this was a whole country, it's conceivable that that market could support, 100 or more franchises over a period of time. So the US-based franchise company would sell through a franchise license called a master franchise license the rights for an investor to buy up to a whole country, and then they would do the same thing that the regional did. They would open up one or more pilot locations in that country to get the brand established and to learn the systems, to develop the infrastructure that's needed to support additional franchises. The master franchise would also have the opportunity to open up maybe more than one location should they desire to do so. They could open up as many locations as they wanted to themselves by capitalizing each location and managing each location. But then the real growth comes and the real opportunity comes when they go out and find, again, individuals that want to open up franchises in that country. They would do it with the help support of the master franchise in that country, who's really becomes the franchisor for the folks that are in that local marketplace there. And the individuals who open them up here, again, there's going to be some sort of a split, like the regional representative, where the master franchise will get a certain percentage of the franchise fees from each opened location, and they'll also get the residual royalty revenue off of each operating unit in that geographic area for the lifetime of those licenses. So you can see this could be a substantial opportunity for someone that wants to grow a brand in a significant way, It could also work in reverse, where there are international concepts that might be successful in their own home country, but they want to expand in the United States. So they might sell master franchise rights to investors in the United States who want to buy an up-and-coming brand from another country, have exclusive rights to develop that brand in the United States, and things would work in reverse. The U.S.-based master franchisee would then open up a pilot store or more in the United States somewhere, and then they would develop their own corporate offices there that would provide support for the franchisees that open up units in that market as well. So that becomes now an aggressive expansion plan where the franchisor is getting the benefit of expanding their brand into other different markets. They're doing it without having to capitalize all that growth because the master franchisee is going to make a significant investment to buy the rights to that marketplace. So that could be an investment that could be anywhere from, say, $500,000 up to several $1 million for the rights to develop a brand in that marketplace. But you can also see the opportunity for them to recover their investment and make additional revenue by getting a split of all the franchise fees that are paid and the ongoing royalty that's paid in from every operating unit in that whole country. So that could be a substantial opportunity. Again, it's probably more for individuals who have a lot of investment capital. Could be an investment group again who does it. They should have a high level of working knowledge of the industry. They should have a high working knowledge of what the competitors are doing in that marketplace, what the political environment is like, and they would need to know also the demographics of that country to know what kind of concepts would be successful, what kind of investment dollars are available for individuals who might want to open up a franchise once the brand is established in that country. So this is more of a dynamic model. Again, not every franchise company offers this option. So you would have to look for franchise companies who either want to grow from the United States into another country and or other franchisors that are outside of the United States who want to grow into the United States so that you would have the opportunity to participate in a master. And again, the main difference between a master and a regional is the master franchisee, once they buy the rights, they're going to turn around and enter into direct contractual licensing arrangements with each of the franchisees who buy and operate a franchise in their geographic area, unlike the regional representative who simply supports the franchisees in exchange for a percentage of the royalties and the franchise fees. But the franchise licenses are directly entered into with the franchisor. The master franchise, in its true sense, is a sub-franchisor, and they are licensing directly with each franchise. So hopefully that's a good explanation, a general explanation of the different levels of franchising that's available. So there's more to franchising than most people realize. There's lots of opportunity. Again, every franchise has their own growth strategy. Not all of them do all 5 of these different methods, but that's part of the due diligence that you might want to do first before you start looking at brands, is finding out what level of involvement do you want to have, and then find brands who have that option available.